The city of Townsville is in a movie! Hello, this is J Star Wars 360 here, back to give you one last Powerpuff Girls vlog. I really enjoyed doing these vlogs. You clearly really enjoyed watching them. And as such, I wanted to go back and do some sort of closure. What better closure than to go all the way back to the beginning by discussing the Powerpuff Girls movie, which goes into how the Powerpuff Girls came to be in far greater depth than we get in the intro. If I time this right, the video should be coming out on the film's 20th anniversary. And this film is kind of a big deal because it is the first and only Cartoon Network show to get a film with a theatrical release. This was a trend that was pretty big in the late 90s, early 2000s. The Rugrats movie was a huge success. Rugrats in Paris, also a big success. And Cartoon Network looked at this and was like, maybe we could get in on the action. As a result, they went ahead and took Powerpuff Girls and was like, hey, Craig, here's some money. Go make a Powerpuff Girls movie. And the film bombed. I mean, it didn't bomb, but it's like you compare it to the Wild Thornberries movie, which came out that same year, and there's a huge difference. To put it in perspective, domestically, Powerpuff Girls movie grossed about $11 million, whereas the Wild Thornberries movie grossed $40 million, which is really strange because it's like Powerpuff Girls has persisted. As of this recording, there is a live-action Powerpuff Girls show in development. It's been remade on Cartoon Network, whereas Wild Thornberries, not as big as it was back in the day. So it is very interesting that in 2002, people were like, Wild Thornberries, that's the thing we support. That is the center of our culture. Powerpuff Girls, not so much. And what's even crazier is that 8 Crazy Nights, which is this Adam Sandler animated movie, that made $23 million. So twice as many people went to go see 8 Crazy Nights as the Powerpuff Girls movie. And it's a real shame because you look at all the Nickelodeon movies that happened, and it's a bummer that Cartoon Network never got to have that same success. They never got to do a Samurai Jack movie. They never got to do a Teen Titans movie. I mean, granted, they did those, but they did those as hour-long specials that aired on TV. And yeah, maybe Powerpuff Girls does belong there more so, but you look at the animation, you look at the epic scale, and you kind of just wish that you could see these beloved cartoons on the big screen. I mean, the closest to probably matching this as far as epic scale would probably be the recent Steven Universe movie. But even then, that was a straight-to-TV movie. And Cartoon Network, they did a lot of specials, but they were all on TV. They had bigger budgets, but you couldn't go to theaters if you wanted to see Operation Zero or Trouble in Tokyo. You had to go to your TV screen. So it is a bummer that this experiment that by all accounts should have paved the way for many more Cartoon Network films didn't go anywhere. And it's clear that Cartoon Network thought it was going to go somewhere, because when you start the movie, you have the logo, which has all these Cartoon Network characters singing the theater, and it was clear that, yeah, they had more ideas in the can. So let's get into the plot of the movie, which is very thin. As I mentioned earlier, it's basically the intro that you see at the beginning of every episode, but in far greater detail. The professor takes sugar, spice, everything nice, and accidentally a bit of Chemical X, and creates 3 girls with superpowers, but the girls are very sweet and innocent and unintentionally cause tons of wreckage to Townsville, and also form an alliance with Mojo Jojo and unwittingly help him take over the town. The girls realize their mistake and beat him up, and for the first time ever, the day is saved, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the plot. And somehow it takes them 1 hour to do. There's not a lot of substance here. And that's perfectly fine in the show, because in the show, the episodes are usually 11 minutes long, sometimes 22. So it's okay that they're lacking substance because it's a lot about action and energy and creativity. Whereas a movie, there's a lot more time you need to fill. And it fills it okay, but I never feel like they do anything particularly meaningful with it. I mean, there is a heartfelt story about the professor learning to be a father and how you think you know how it's going to go down, but it doesn't go down. There's an interesting thing about Mojo Jojo becoming a villain because he's not loved and accepted. But I feel like it never really goes too in-depth. Things just sort of happen. But ultimately, I don't think it matters too much because clearly the animators were having a blast with this movie. It is insanely good looking. Arguably the best it's ever been. The colors, the lining, just some really truly epic stuff that I can only imagine must have been a sight to behold on the big screen. There's this fantastic bit where the girls up in space and the use of black and white and the lighting and the shading. Oh my gosh, is it incredible. Like, arguably this looks even better than the Nickelodeon films because oftentimes the Rugrats movie, like Rugrats, I think has a charm to how ugly it is, whereas Powerpuff Girls, like the cleanness and the polish of the animation, just visually stunning. And it really comes through in the climax, which sees Mojo Jojo give a bunch of monkeys Chemical X. And the animators have a lot of fun coming up with a variety of monkeys, and it's a who's who of legendary voice actors, and they're all doing a very good take on the Mojo Jojo voice. And it's just super fun, super crazy. It really makes you wish that there was a Samurai Jack movie because the action here was incredibly stylish and incredibly crazy and incredibly epic. And you kind of wonder, like, if this is what a Powerpuff Girls movie's action looks like, what would a Samurai Jack movie have looked like if it had this kind of budget? And honestly, it is worth sitting through some rather half-baked story just to get to that insanely good climax alone. And the characters are lovable as always. The girls, they are so sweet and so innocent. You have Blossom, who is just, I don't know, that voice, just that really sweet voice. And then there's Bubbles, who's so adorable. The moment when they have their third act fallout and the girls give up, and Blossom and Buttercup are arguing and Bubbles is crying, it's just it's a sad moment, but also just, it's so sweet and relatable. Like, that's the thing, is that these are characters that you like spending time with, whether it's the girls meaning well but not always doing the right thing, the professor trying to be a great father, or Mojo Jojo just being super over the top in his voice. It's just fun, and I've loved what Cartoon Network has done over the past decade, but there was something about Powerpuff Girls and how incredibly stylish it was and zany, just clearly one person's vision unhinged that I don't feel like I see in a lot of modern Cartoon Network shows. It all kind of feels cut from the same cloth. And the fact that this got a theatrical movie, insane. One last thing I want to note, actually a couple little observations. The first of which, there's a wanted poster in the film where the professor gets arrested and they hold up a wanted poster that has the professor and some girls. Fun fact, that was actually a fan submission. Cartoon Network had a contest where you had to submit a picture of the professor and the girls, and the winning design would be featured in the film and the artist's name would be featured in the credits. So really good drawing, and I really am curious to know what happened to the person who drew that, if they went on to do anything, or if it's like, oh yeah, I got submitted in a contest and I won. Another thing, I do love how the girls, just the instant they're born, they're basically the Powerpuff Girls. Like, yes, kids, this is where babies come from. Sugar, spice, everything nice, and boom, 3 little girls all ready to go. And the last thing is just, if you have epilepsy, just know that there are a lot of sequences, particularly in the climax, where there's a lot of flashing lights. I had to look away, so just major warning. So yeah, is this the best thing Powerpuff Girls ever did? Not even close. I think the episodes are much stronger, they're a lot tighter, they're a lot more imaginative, and a lot more fun. Rowdy Rough Boys, The Dynamo, Abracadabra, like there's just so many episodes of the show that are just far more creative and far more imaginative. But that being said, I'm really glad this film exists. Again, it's just, you don't see something like this nowadays, and I'm glad that the people making the show got to do it. It's clear that everyone working on this film gave it 110%, and I'm glad I saw it. Not the strongest thing that the Powerpuff Girls did, but notable nonetheless. And it speaks to how powerful Powerpuff Girls was that this got a movie. And it's clear why. I mean, for the longest time, I swore off Powerpuff Girls because I thought it was just a dumb girl show. But really, that was doing it a disservice. This is an incredibly fun series with lovable characters, fun villains, incredibly imaginative stories, and a series that ranks amongst Cartoon Network's best. I'm really glad that I did these vlogs. It's been a blast discovering the show, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me experience all these for the first time. That'll be it for Powerpuff Girls Vlogs. I don't want to say never. There's always the possibility I could come back. Maybe I'll keep going through them in succession. Maybe I'll pick a few fan favorites and react to those. But I'm looking at my life right now. I'm looking at what goes into these vlogs. And they were fun, but I think it's time that I put a capper on these and move forward. So thanks again for watching the Powerpuff Girls vlogs. Your support and encouragement is what has kept this channel going over the years. It's what got me to do this one last vlog. And I look forward to whatever the future of this channel holds, whether I decide to do another Powerpuff Girls vlog every now and then, or maybe another Hey Arnold vlog, or maybe something else. But regardless of it, I hope you guys enjoyed getting this one last Powerpuff Girls vlog and getting some semblance of closure, even if it's not ideal, even if I didn't get to every episode you wanted. I hope that what I did was satisfying, because I know it was for me. With all that said and done, this is J Star Wars 360, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care.